So Gerhard Struber, after that defeat by Blackburn, not really giving his players any excuse. Let's head back to Vicarage Road, the players in the tunnel. Jim Proudfoot there alongside Sean Derry, the former QPR captain. Gerhard Struber obviously affected by injuries at the moment, his side, but he isn't letting his players get away with using that as an excuse, which is good to see. From a coaching perspective, how do you stop it affecting the players? Because it will. They're looking around the changing room. Some of their big names aren't there.
Well, of course, but we spoke about it earlier, didn't we, Hugh, about when one door shuts for one person, another opens for somebody else. And that's what these boys will be looking at. They'll be looking at this opportunity tonight saying, let it be me. Let me bring my performance level to this table tonight. Because on the back of a 1-0 loss against Blackburn, which was a bit of a poor display by all accounts, and a real big scoreline against Stoke, they are looking for a reaction tonight. The one player for me who can bring that reaction for this Bristol City's team, and he's similar kind of spoken about Imran Louza for Watford, but Scott Twine for Bristol City. He carries fantastic amount of ability, especially in possession. And I look at him and I think, go on lead your team properly tonight. I'm interested to see how Sinclair Armstrong does as well. He hasn't really had his career at Bristol City take off, but if they play on the transition, on the counter-attack, he has the physical attributes to absolutely tear into. He's the kind of player you think, only think about passing. I just think his game would have transitioned and developed in such a different way if he just never thinks about scoring himself. He gets into brilliant positions. He goes it alone. At times he should really pick someone out. And actually, I think his game would definitely deliver more if he gets his head up a little bit more. Yeah, I agree with you, Hugh. Some of the qualities that he possesses, you'd be crying out for, wouldn't you? You'd be spending millions and millions of pounds on players like that. Big, strong, aggressive. He wants to go up against people. When he gets on that front foot as well, there's no stopping him. Absolutely no stopping him. He had a lovely finish the other week, and I'd be looking at him now saying, go on and cement your place in this team. Go and make it feel like yours, Sinclair, because I watched him as a young player at QPR, and then I look at him now and go and grab hold of this championship and start delivering. Okay, two sides wanting to grab hold of their form at the moment and get a big 3 points towards the playoff spots in the Championship. Watford hosting Bristol City live and exclusively here on Talksport 2. Remember, it is Remembrance Weekend, so the players already out there at Vicarage Road. I'll leave you with Talksport's Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, and a very good evening to you. And as you walk down Vicarage Road, there's a mural of Watford's favourite adopted son. On the end gable of a house on the opposite side of the road from the ground, the stop-starts traffic is greeted by Graham Taylor's genial smile. Alongside his picture, one of his quotes, make sure your footsteps are left for others to follow. And boy, did he do that. Those footsteps have been followed by many others since. In fact, in the 24 years since he last left, there have been 29 permanent managers. 11 of the last 12 have left before their 50th game in charge. Not much chance to leave footsteps if your feet don't touch the ground. So against Watford tonight, the Bristol City side decimated by injury, making a couple of changes this evening. But before the game starts, Remembrance Weekend will be marked here at Vicarage Road by the laying of wreaths, and the bugler's last post will be silently observed by supporters to commemorate all of those who were killed, injured and affected during the course of giving service for their country. The Watford fans away to our left-hand side, the allotment end of the ground, holding red, white and blue pieces of paper in the shape of a Union Jack, whilst poppies fall silently on the big screen away to our left.
The act of remembrance is briefly non-religious, a very inclusive opportunity to show respect for those who fell while preserving the freedoms we enjoy today. Following the reading of the exhortation, the last posts will be sounded, and then we will observe a minute's silence, which will end upon the referee's whistle. Sam Hall will now read the exhortation.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the year to condemn. And going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Remember them.
lest we forget. Watford remembering here at Vicarage Road. Well, these are the two teams. Watford lining up with Selvig in goal. Could well be a back three in front of them. Caban, Pollock and Elaine. Petrie, Lusa, Kayembe and Bola. And then Irankunda in support of Kiramgo and Doumbia. Vitek in goal for Bristol City. Tanner, Dickey and Viner. The reshuffled defensive line with Viner coming back into it. McCrory, Twine, Randall, McMetty and Roberts, with Armstrong and Mayulu up front. Watford fantastic at home, struggling away, but really, really good here, Sean Derry. They've won their last 4 at Vicarage Road. Not a good team for Bristol City to be coming up against. Really patched up with Mayulu playing up front, making his first start of the season as well.
Yeah, and I guess from Watford's perspective, Jim, you know, you should be really looking at that fact and saying, let's build on that, let's start well. You know, these fans have all come in numbers tonight looking for a really positive display in the performance from their team. Give them something to shout about. Start quick, start fast with aggression, because they have got quality in the ranks as well, Jim. So, yeah, look, I'm really looking forward to this game tonight. I think it'll be a fantastic start to our Championship weekend.
Well, Bristol City in their change kit, white shirts there, kicking from right to left, defending the end of the ground away to our right-hand side that houses the travelling West Country folk. Made the journey up the M4. A little bit of smoke just drifting in over the stadium from the fireworks that have just gone off a couple of minutes ago as we get underway. Ball pumped out to the Bristol City right-hand side straight away towards McCrory. But a chance for Petrie to bring it down on the edge of his own penalty area for Watford, and it's cleared behind him by Kevin towards halfway. Viner, true enough, back in that defensive line, having played the last few games in a defensive midfield position, and he just rolls the ball forward to the Devonian Adam Randall, who can turn and pass it out towards McCrory. Back from him to Tanner. Tanner taking a touch, finding Rob Dickey, who's making his 100th Bristol City appearance tonight. Back from him to the goalkeeper Vitek, who can just take a touch and then clip it forward left-footed towards halfway. Armstrong coming to meet it, but Mayulu's flick didn't get to him. Now an opportunity for Matty Pollock just to come forward and bring it forward, but Petrie has lost it, and McMetty can now motor towards the edge of the penalty area here for Bristol City. A little flick off from Mayulu. Comes back again for Twine. Good hit, right-footed from the edge of the D. And the claims are that Selvig helped it on its way past the post and out of play for a corner, but a goal kick has been given. Lively start through the opening 90 seconds here on Talksport 2.
Yeah, it was a lovely run there, wasn't it, by Mehmeti there. He just drove the ball with fantastic close control. And that's where I like Scott Twine, picking up them little pockets just behind the number 9s there. He's really adventurous, joins the attack really well, and I'm surprised. I think he'd be slightly disappointed there, Jim, that he didn't hit the target.
So Watford are playing with a back three, as was exclusively revealed by their warm-up. There is Caban, Pollock and Elaine, Boller at left wing-back, Petrie on the right, and then they've got Lusa and Kayembe. And then Doumbia and Irankunda playing as inside forwards behind Kerem go up front. Ball in towards him. But the whistle has gone, and it's a free kick which has been given Bristol City's way inside their own penalty area. A couple of minutes gone. 0-0 here on Talksport 2. Radek Vitek is on loan from Manchester United. It does have previous EFL experience with Accrington in a loan spell, but he's been keeping Max O'Leary out of the Bristol City team this season. O'Leary was first choice last year, hasn't played a single game this. Vitek waving everybody upfield before going forward and driving it right-footed most of the way towards the edge of the Watford penalty area, but the retreating Pollock can knock that one away. McMetty picking up the second ball again. Roberts making a run to his left. Worked the other way, but cut out by Bola. Now Irankunda in possession over on the far touchline, the Watford left in front of the Graham Taylor stand. Back from him for Mark Elaine. Imran Louza working it through the D on the edge of his penalty area, and Kevin Caban can bring it forward, just lofting one over the top for the run of Doumbia, but easily mopped up by Viner, who will find Vitek. Touch from Vitek back towards Zach Viner again. Now Rob Dickey clearing, left-footed towards halfway. Pollock battling in there, trying to win it back from Mayulu. The free kick's gone his way, taken quickly. And Kayembe will work it back for Elaine.
Just see the back four of Bristol City there, Rob Dickey in particular, looking for these two very, very aggressive centre forwards that Bristol City have got on the pitch tonight. And I think that there's no surprises that you would try and approach the game that way, especially earlier on in the game as well, Jim, because this is a back four, a back five. We weren't too sure before the game how Watford would adopt to this system, but put them under pressure straight away. And look at both the centre forwards, especially Sinclair Armstrong, and he's just drifting out to the right. And I've seen him on the left, and he's caused loads of problems on the left as well. So to see him a little bit more on the right, it's a bit of a surprise tonight.
Yeah, Sinclair Armstrong, a player who was brought over to English football by Queen's Park Rangers. A couple of impressive loan spells. He is now an Irish international. Just the one goal for him this season. He's come off the bench much more frequently than he started. The Bristol City number 30. Making his way forward now. Selvik, Norwegian international in goal for Watford. Out of the left-hand side for Elaine. Now Kayembe. Down towards Kevin Caban. Doumbia dropping deep on the Watford right. Will pick the ball up the inside four. That's given Petrie the opportunity to make a run past him. I think they'll just switch positions now, back off the ball. Kayembe, who's got the nod in the heart of the midfield in the absence of the injured Hector Cipriano tonight. Lusa scored in his last four, chipping it back towards the edge of his own penalty area where Caban brings it under control. And Matty Pollock's going to be able to build from the back. 5 gone, 0-0. Yeah,
and just looking at the shape and how it's starting to develop on the pitch, there's big spaces on this vast pitch of Vicarage Road. Just looking at how they're kind of rotating, and there's loads of different little rotations taking place. I'm just looking at this Watford particular, the two number 10s, they kind of start wide, they drive into the central areas, and I think one killer pass, just like we've just seen.
And it's a ball over the top that Aaron Kunda's trying to bring down, and he's slipped it past the goalkeeper. Wonderful ball forward. Mark Bowler running onto it. He's been injured in the act of scoring the goal, but it was a sensational run past the back line. And Watford lead inside the opening 7 minutes with Mark Bowler's first goal for the club.
Well, it's just everything that you would have hoped these Watford fans would have seen in the first 10 minutes. Is the man, we spoke about him before the game kicked off, Imran Louza. He's got a wonderful pass. We've seen him score goals, but he dropped deep, kind of forged his way into the back five of this Watford team, and it was a wonderfully executed pass, and Mark Bowler's driven his run from out to in from the left-hand touchline, and it's a brilliant run and a great finish, Jim. You've got to say that's a wonderful finish by Mark Bowler, but the pass made the goal.
But when Watford picked up the ball at the back and Lusa looked up, he had 5 in a line, all ready to make differing runs, and basically it was just, as long as he got the elevation on the pass right and the pace, he had any number of options. Just who did he want to stick it in front of?
Absolutely. And Mark Bowler's got the pace to join the top line as well, coming from wing back. You know, and that's the best thing about this shape. You know, when you're playing that back five and you've got the left and the right wing backs, they can join the top line fantastically well if they're aggressive enough, if they're quick enough. And that's exactly what Watford have just saw, the joys of that shape take place. Brilliant pass by Imran Louza. Fantastic ball.
Well, Louza scored in his last 4 games. He's the first Watford player to do that for 10 years. And he's made a mark tonight already, just 6 minutes in. You're not missing anything because Mark Bowler came out and he got caught amidships by goalkeeper Selvik, who came out to try and make the save. And has certainly hurt Mark Bowler, the former Middlesbrough player. But Imran Louza is the man whose name is being chanted now for the quality of the ball for. Perfect start for Watford. And they've got a decent record, haven't lost the game all season when they've gone 1-0 up. Bristol City, on the other hand, have already had a couple of wins where they've been able to come from behind. They beat Hull, having gone 1-0 down. They beat Southampton in the same scenario. They're going to have to do it the hard way here. 5 against 5 at the back there for Watford. Bristol City brutally exposed. Bowler now back on his feet, jogging off, still with tears in his eyes, I think it's fair to say, as he makes his way down towards this near touchline. But he's all right. He's going to be able to continue. Mark Bowler's goal is the difference between the two teams. Watford leading Bristol City here on Talksport 2 by a goal to nil. Vitek from the kickoff. Ball played back to him. And he slams it forward. Kieran Goad chasing after it over on the far touchline. One back by Rob Dickey for Bristol City. And the ball bounces on the touchline and out for a throw that McCrory's going to take. And the blonde-haired Scotsman looking to take it really quickly. Aaron Kunda's won it back though. Kieran Goad making a run ahead of him. Aaron Kunda just ran into traffic and it was cleared by Tanner. And goes out of play for a throw that has been given Watford's way. Judging by the reaction of Scott Twine, maybe it wasn't a cut and dry decision, but it has been given Watford's way. And the applause you hear for Mark Bowler as he comes back on the field. 9 minutes gone. We've probably only seen about 6.5 minutes worth of action. But Watford already ahead as they look for a 5th straight home win.
Yeah, lovely start. Fantastic. The quality of the goal was excellent. It really was. I mean, looking at that pass again, I mean, I don't think you're going to see there'll be some goals scored, of course, this weekend, but that's a fantastic pass by the captain. It really was. Beautifully executed.
Just dropped over the top of the back line. And Watford capitalising as a result of it. Bristol City hoping to avoid a 3rd straight defeat, starting at 7th in the table. Watford 12th, but with the opportunity to move above the Robins in the table tonight. Got to win by 2 or more to do it though. Here's Petrie and Doumbia. Just coming in off the right flank for Watford, who've started really brightly. They're to Kayembe now. In the heart of the midfield, down towards Imran Lousa. Again, being given that little bit of time by Anis Mehmeti. He didn't pick a pass on this occasion. He worked it back behind square for Kayembe instead. Now Mark Elaine working it forward. Goes into the feet of the Tanzanian-born striker, Iran Kunda. And he can walk it towards the edge of the centre circle where Kayembe will take over. Now Kevin Caban coming forward. Good ball down the inside right channel. Petrie chasing after it. Not quick enough to be able to keep it in. And it goes out, hitting the hoardings in front of those travelling Bristol City supporters who've been silenced by that 6-minute Mark Bowler goal. Watford 1, Bristol City 0.
Yeah, it's been a difficult start for Bristol City. They've tried to adopt a kind of a man-for-man system, but because both teams are playing very different shapes, you know, the 2 midfielders for Watford in particular, Imran Lousa, he's so difficult to mark. You know, he's not stayed in the same area of the pitch for longer than 30 seconds, Jim. He's dropping back into the back line. He gets behind the centre forwards. You look at Scott Twine and he's got no idea where he is. He doesn't know where to go at this moment in time.
And Kieran Goad just trying to flick it away from Dickey. And then the ball spun towards the edge of the penalty area by Aaron Kunda. Goes out of play for a goal kick. They're not playing their natural game though, Bristol City. If you look at the fact that they're playing this 3-5-2 formation, Randall sitting deep in the midfield, and that means that Twine and Mehmeti are having to do a defensive job of playing as 8s, and neither will be relishing that. And it's needs must. It's not a criticism of Gerhard Struber, but he is almost down to 11 senior players. So he's not quite as bad as that, but it's not too far short. So he's in getting his best players on the pitch, having to conjure up this kind of system that doesn't suit something.
No, absolutely. And you want to put as many kind of players on the pitch that understand their roles, though, Jim. That's the thing. You know, you come into any stadium in the Championship, they're all going to be difficult games. But when you're losing the amount of players that they've lost, it's really affecting them. This start's not been the best of start for Bristol City. They've not been able to put 2 or 3 passes together just yet. The turnovers have been so consistent.
Oh, Petrie has done brilliantly. He's got past his man, goes down inside the penalty area. No foul by Roberts, says referee Tierney. And play continues with Bristol City breaking quickly. Mehmeti wasting the opportunity by side-footing it forward but out of play. And now Imran Lousa, as the ball is out for a Watford throw, will go across and have a word with referee Tierney to just ask him to justify the decision. Why he thought there was no foul by Roberts on Petrie.
Well, I must admit, Jim, I didn't think straight away that he should have hit the deck. You know, he's beaten Roberts, he's beaten his opponent, he's inside the 18-yard box, and he's just ready to lift his head for a pass. I'm surprised he hit the deck. It was definitely not a penalty.
Ball's gone out, and it's a throw that Petry will take. The Frenchman that they signed from Belgian football on deadline day, been playing from Charleroi. It's due a goal, I think it's fair to say. He's not too far short of 100 without one now, which for a player who plays in quite an attacking position is a surprising statistic. As the rain here begins to really come down, just blowing into the faces of the Bristol City players as if the evening wasn't miserable enough for them already. 1-0 here on Talksport 2 to Watford, who will bring it forward again with Kunda. Clearance not the best, then the subsequent ball forward not either, and mopped up easily by Zach Viner and played out towards the right-hand touchline by Adam Randall, former Plymouth man. Getting it forward towards Twine. Twine chesting it down. Roberts can work it out towards Anish Mehmeti. Coming towards the edge of the penalty area, flighting it forward. McCrory's made a good run, but just went that a little bit too early, and the flag is up from Blake Antrobus, the assistant referee, over on the far touchline. Free kick to Watford, and they have this lead.
Yeah, best part of their play after 15 minutes, Jim, that they just had that little bit of composure, didn't they? Where they had 3 or 4 little key passes out of pressure. Because Watford have got the advantage and they're trying to press as high as they possibly can. Loads and loads of energy on the pitch at this moment in time with that backing of the 1-0 goal. But Bristol City just got to take the sting out of this. You know, they need to stay in this game. You know, nothing's won or lost after 15 minutes. They've just got to get that 3 or 4 passes. We saw there with Mehmeti on the top line there with there's a good ball actually to the far post, and McCrory joined the top line himself.
Those are the thoughts of Sean Derry, the former Crystal Palace and Wolves assistant manager. As the ball is worked forward here by Petry inside the Bristol City penalty area off Roberts. And out of play for a Watford corner.
Well, that's great play, isn't it? That's what you want from your wide players. I mean, he's so purposeful in the attack there, Petris was. He had one thing in his mind, and that was to beat his opponent, to get on the top line in possession. You know, took 2 or 3 players out of the way, and lovely ball, lovely silky run.
So the first corner of the night to Watford. It'll be taken on their right flank. Imran Louza, the man that has come across to take it, raising his right arm above his head. 3 Watford players inside the 6-yard box. Pollock coming forward to join them now. Out comes the goalkeeper, got something on it. Kayembe back through a crowd, and the goalkeeper's made a good save that time. Vitek diving away to his left because it came through so much traffic. Can only have seen it late, but got his body down and keeps the deficit at just the 1.
Lovely ball by Imran Louza there. I mean, he just lifted it into an area, didn't it? The goalkeeper there was getting blocked by Max Elaine, I think it was, the number 3 for Watford. He just stood in front of him. It was a lovely ball, and it's a fantastic strike on the edge of the box. It really was a lovely left-footed strike.
Yeah, big night for Elaine with the family links with Bristol. Max born in Bristol, the son of Mark, the head coach of Gloucestershire County Cricket Club, the former England cricketer. Max is on loan from Manchester City and played against his hometown club. And here's Petry, who's started brightly. Louza, who's provided the real quality. And he's just played another ball expertly through the midfield there. The aforementioned Elaine back towards Petry again. Petry's got Doumbia making a run ahead of him. If anything, they're both attacking the same space down the right-hand touchline. Bristol City can win it back. Crossfield ball chested down by McCrory, but Kunda is in there first as Tanner dallied, and now Louza will bring it forward. Doesn't shoot, lays it back for Doumbia, who wins the corner off the retreating Mehmeti. Mehmeti hoping to flick it into Doumbia as he came back, but he didn't get that deflection. And he goes out of play for another corner. Watford well on top here, leading 1-0.
Yeah, they are. They've started really well in this game, Jim. They really have. Loads of energy, loads of purposeful passing as well. You know, a lot of forward passes as well into key areas of the pitch. Not just keeping the ball for the sake of it. They want to go and score this second goal in a good little spot at the minute.
Corner again to be taken by Louza. Swung in very deep and coming round the back. Kunda bundled it towards goal. Wasn't a clean contact. And that allowed Vitek to make the save, because if he hits that with any conviction, it's surely 2-0.
Oh, it was a wonderful ball again by the number 10 of this Watford team. He's got a wonder of left foot. He really has. Right on the money. I mean, we've watched some absolutely superb set plays in the Premier League for Arsenal, but you know, you think about the delivery that we've seen in these opening 2 or 3 corners for Watford, and he just puts it on the money, doesn't he? He's just there all the time. He's got a lovely left foot. Loser has. He's a great little player.
Would he be good enough to play in the Premier League in a side that are heavily dependent on set pieces? Get your thoughts on that in a moment as Bristol City bring it forward here, level with the edge of the Watford box for probably only the second time in open play tonight through 18 minutes. McCrory has done well. Twine taking over, trying to find a little bit of space is Tanner. And the former Man United man can get it forward here, and Kunda is back defending and has done well. Turned over possession. Kayembe losing out, though, to the retreating Twine. A City in industriously in the midfield with Randall to win it back. Chipped over the top and away by Pollock from inside his own penalty area. Kevin gets it further clear, and then Petrie's fouled. And Watford have a free kick inside their own box. Just going back to that point about Luce. If you've got such great set-piece delivery as he's got, and you are, say, an Arsenal or a Brentford or somebody that are heavily reliant on set pieces, would he be somebody that you're looking at for that reason?
Well, look, he's got incredible amounts of quality. Physically, it's a different challenge in the Premier League. But you look at Ward-Prowse and the way that he's played in the Premier League, because not just because he's a gifted player, no doubt about it, but a lot of the time he's just put unbelievable set plays in, hasn't he? You know, free kicks, corners, been a real kind of positive for the teams that he's played. And I've watched him, loser in the Premier League. He did play in the Premier League for Watford, not very often, but when he was there, it was the physicality that let him down. But the Championship gives you that, Jim. Mm-hmm. You've got to be physical to survive at this league.
And he's really standing out tonight. And Kayembe stops the ball and just allows Loser to take it off his toes to orchestrate this latest phase of attacking play for the Hornets in their yellow and red. Kicking from left to right. And in possession with Petrie right in front of us, the French-born winger. Back from him for Caban to the one-time Grimsby player Matty Pollock, out to a lane. Boller back in field towards Lucer again. And now Pollock to a lane, and they're finding that little bit of space and seemingly finding a decent rhythm under Javi Gracia. 2 wins, 2 defeats in his 5 games so far in this spell. Petrie coming in off the right flank into the feet of young Doumbia, the Malian teenager. Pollock has it again. They're more than happy at times to go back. They're playing with a decent tempo, but there are a fair few square passes and backwards passes when the situation decrees. There's never a complaint from Javi Gracia when that happens. Ball goes back to the goalkeeper, and Selvik will take a touch and then play it out from the back again to Matty Pollock as we approach the midway stage of the first half here on Talksport 2. Tomorrow, 2 more live exclusive Championship games for you. Millwall Preston at 12:30, and the big one, Stoke Coventry. Second against first. Mark Robbins taking on his old club. It's not on UK TV, but it is here on Talksport 2 tomorrow afternoon with Adam Bridge alongside Chris Uwelemo at Stoke for a 3 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. I'll tell you what's coming up in the Premier League as well very shortly, as Rob Dickey hooks the ball over his own shoulder to get it away on the edge of his own box. And Lucer will be able to pick it up. Aaron Kunda a step round the challenge of McCrory, but then lost possession, and Bristol City will get it forward to the Scotsman. Aaron Kunda did well because he had to backtrack, rectified his own error. Boller appreciating that, gave him a pat on the back as he went back past him, but it has gone out of play for a Bristol City throw.
Yeah, they're the kind of things that, you know, fans really appreciate, Jim, don't they? You know, they've had a lot of time. They've probably been in possession maybe 70% of this game up to the end. Used it quite wisely, but that's what you've got to do in the Championship as well. You've got to respond and react and dig in when you lose possession, and that's what this team have started doing over the first 22 minutes. They are playing with great energy, this Watford team.
Now Lucer has gone down, and it did look as though Randall might have fouled him. Just deemed to be the stronger of the two. Imran Lucer has stayed down, hurt on the edge of the centre circle. Bristol City in possession. Armstrong, Twine, Maulu. Back he goes towards Randall again. We'll work down to the left flank for Roberts. Lucer back on his feet. Bristol City still in possession, down towards the Watford corner flag, away to our left. And Mehmeti has won a throw. Viner showing for it. It's a thrown back instead towards Randall. 10 yards outside the Watford penalty area. He's teased the ball in that a lane can head clear. Now Twine plays the way that he's facing, back away from goal, but Randall can work it out towards Anis Mehmeti, getting it onto his right foot, trying his luck. But even on this greasy playing surface with the rain that's coming down, it's a comfortable save for Selvig.
Well, it was. We've not seen too many opportunities for this Bristol City team at the minute. What's really tough for them is where they just loft them hopeful balls into the box. With the back five of this Watford team look quite, they just look quite relaxed at the minute, don't they, Jim? They've not really broken sweat, the back three especially. So Bristol City need to use a little bit more creativity in that final third.
Yeah, night off for James Abankwah. The Irishman on loan from Udinese tonight. There's 6 changes were made. Reshuffling the defensive line, changing the shape. You'd never know it because there appears to be really good cohesion. Selvig did well to deal with a very errant back pass. He stopped it going out of play for a corner. Now Watford on the front foot again, but Doumbia's ball is overhit. And it goes through for Vitek away to our right. Vadak Vitek beaten by that Mark Bowler goal on 6 minutes. Bowler incidentally not showing any ill effects of the very hefty knock that he got just below the waist as a result of scoring the goal. And now as City work it forward again, it's comfortably claimed by Selvig, running out to the right-hand side of his penalty area to whisk the ball away with quick hands from Falimaulu. Louza. Another chance for him just to loft 1-4, then it dies beautifully towards the edge of the penalty area, but Tanner backpedaled and headed clear. And now McCrory gets it out to the right-hand side for Twine. Twine rolling a good ball down the line. No flag against Sinclair Armstrong. Mayulu making a run across the near post. He tried to play it back instead towards Mehmeti by the penalty spot. And Watford had enough bodies back to be able to deflect it into the hands of Selvig.
I thought the flag was going to go up there. He looked like he made his run slightly too early, Sinclair Armstrong, but the assistant referee kept his flag down. Surprised at that. He looked from our view like he was 3 or 4 yards offside, but he found his way into the 18-yard box. It's just that final ball that let him down. There was enough bodies in the box for Bristol City. Scott Twine played him down the side, a lovely balanced ball, but you're hopeful that your centre forward does a little bit better for you there, Jim. He had enough time to pick a pass out.
Starting a third game out of the last 4, Sinclair Armstrong. Just the 1 goal so far this season, which was the winner against Birmingham. It's actually his only goal in his last 36 games, but a much better striker than those that raw data suggests. The kind of player that you need to judge on his overall contribution as opposed to merely the number of goals that he scores.
Well, the goal against Birmingham was a wonderful finish. Coming down that left-hand channel, just opened his body and found that far corner, similar to what he's just done here.
That's another really good ball to find him. This time, though, he has made the run too early. Roberts sliding it down the left-hand touchline. And Armstrong making a run from in to out, but he went, as I say, about half a second too quickly.
That's good. It's really difficult to find them spaces in the back five, especially when you're playing, kind of as a solitary 9 like Sinclair Armstrong at times does. But it's just finding them gaps. Once he finds them gaps, no one's catching him.
You with Talksport 2. Where Mark Bowler's goal has given Watford a 1-0 lead over Bristol City. Coming up tomorrow over on Talksport, game day exclusive begins at 11, as always, ahead of Tottenham Manchester United at 12:30. And then our second live exclusive Premier League game tomorrow is at 8, where Chelsea host managerless Wolves. Will they still be managerless Wolves by then? You would imagine so. If you're a new man coming into that job, no, I'll sit back and let someone else take charge of Chelsea away, thanks. I'll take over on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll have the international break, thank you.
Armstrong making another good run. Mehmeti has found him. Armstrong going down right on the corner of the penalty area. It's outside the box. It's a free kick.
Oh, that's got to be close. I mean, it's a wonderful run. We've seen that a few weeks ago when he scored the goal away at Birmingham. Same kind of run down the side of this Watford back five, and he's lucky there, isn't he? Petrie, who's just returning back to his defensive position and caught the back heel of Sinclair Armstrong. But this is a wonderful opportunity for what's been a pretty poor 28 minutes of football for Bristol City, but with Scott Twine over the top of it, you've always got a chance.
Third booking of the season for Petrie. He's the first man to have his name taken tonight. And it's given Bristol City the opportunity to get themselves back on level terms here. On a night where they've only had one attempt on target so far. And barely had a quarter of the ball. Scott Twine, though, from free kicks is sensational. Right-footed, he's hit this one magnificently. He bent it over the three-man wall and past the despairing dive of Selvik in the Watford goal. His array of free kicks, quite remarkable. He's done it again, just when they needed it. They've created next to nothing, but a moment of Scott Twine brilliance against Bristol City back on level terms.
Well, I think we've got the best view in the house here, Jim. We're right behind it. We see the goalkeeper line up his wall, three-man wall, and you're thinking, maybe you should know your opponent a little bit better than that, Selvik. Put one more in there, because he was scrambling. It was a fantastically well-executed goal. I mean, how many times have we seen that by Scott Twine? He's already been in the game. You know, he's not had that opportunity to get on the ball in the final third, where we know he's creative and he's absolutely their best player in the final third. But that's a stunning free kick. I mean, do they deserve it? Of course. You know, this is what the Championship's all about. Watford will be kicking themselves.
Scott Twine scored twice at Sheffield United, twice against Southampton, and has now scored his 6th goal of the season to get Bristol City back on level terms. If anything, it looked as though it was a little bit too close to the edge of the penalty area. Maybe the angle had just made it easier in that regard. But he got it up and down quickly. He couldn't have thrown it more accurately from about 5 feet out than he kicked it in from 19 yards. Brilliant free kick from a player who is more than capable and demonstrates that on so many occasions. So we've got a game on again, 1-1.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of them, isn't it? You know, you look at your opponent, you do your due diligence throughout the week, you recognise who you're going to be playing against, and you say, whatever we do, let's not give any free kicks away around the edge of the 18 box, because there's a guy there who's going to bend it in the top corner. And he's done it. He's done it all his career. I mean, it's a brilliantly executed free kick. Absolutely wonderful. I mean, I just don't think he could go any closer to this post. And the goalkeeper was scrambling, wasn't he?
Zach Weiner to take a throw for Bristol City. A player who made his 250th appearance for the club on Tuesday. And just shuffling forward in front of Javi Gracia, who's looking much more animated now. Because prior to that Scott Twine free kick, his team thoroughly meriting the 1-0 lead, but it is now level. Lusa back towards Pollock on the edge of his own box. Pollock back to his goalkeeper, who had to swiftly move across to his right-hand side and dig it clear. And then Lusa was just given a shove to the ground by the physically robust Sinclair Armstrong. And Armstrong's given the free kick away. It's 1-1 here on Talksport 2 between Watford and Bristol City. Will Javi Gracia be a little bit frustrated that his side, from an attacking point of view, have gone into their shell a little bit over the last 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what's stopped happening is forward runs for this Watford team. We saw that in an abundance in the first 10 or 15 minutes. The forward runs weren't just the stereotypical centre-forward runs. They was coming from wide areas. You know, Petrie especially was joining the top line. Mark Bowler on the other side. Seems to be a little bit more flattened out now, this system does.
It's Watford that have possession, and that has been the way of it pretty much since the first whistle. Pollock taking a touch inside the centre circle, going to his left-hand side for a lane. He's passed it forward, and McCrory read it. And a yellow card is the result for Iran Kunda, who came back and knew that with his teammate having played that poor pass, there was a real danger of a counter-attack. Iran Kunda took one for the team, and he's booked.
Yeah, he had to there, didn't he? Otherwise, they're defending for the lives. I mean, it was a real loose ball, but McCrory's just done really well. I mean, this has got to give them confidence, that goal especially.
Selvik can come out and claim a long ball that's punted forward inside the penalty area. It remains 1-1. Now Caban out towards Pollock. Pollock passing it forward through the D towards the Figure to his left of Max Delane. Now down towards the Watford right, and Kevin Caban can come forward. He's just waiting to play the pass, and Armstrong was in there talking about the fact that his contributions are much better than merely his goal scoring. He defends so well from the front.
Yeah, incredible honesty in his game. I mean, that's one thing that you can't have a go at him for. I mean, he's always there, puts his body on the line for his team, got fantastic enthusiasm to try and get the ball back. And you know you're in a game when you're up against him. I mean, that's one thing you definitely realise, that you've got to be smart with your decision making.
And he's battling again, trying to get the better of Cabe, and he can't quite manage it. And Lucer will be able to pick it up in the midfield and work it to his left. Flick round the corner. Bristol City win it back. It wasn't the best touch by Bowler, the Horns goal scorer. And that's not the best defensive header by Pollock, although Kayembe stopped it falling straight to McCrory. Does go out of play for a Bristol City throw. Are you an XG man, Sean?
Not really. No, I'm not. No, I mean, look, you look at what the XG would have been for the first 28 minutes before that second goal that we've seen. And I just think that, you know, your chances come, the chances go, but you've just got to be ruthless when they come. I mean, that was ruthlessness at the top table, wasn't it? I mean, from his perspective, I mean, he's hardly been in the game, Scott Twine.
Well, he has it again now, and has he won a corner? No, he hasn't. It's gone out of play for a goal kick. That's why I mention it. You look at the XG of his free kick, 0.04. So what that's saying is that for the average professional footballer, he's got a 1 in 25 chance of scoring from that free kick. 25-1 shot, and he sticks it in.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we said we had the perfect view. We did. We had the best house in the stadium, the best seat in the stadium. It was perfect for us to have a look at it. But I just thought he's going to score that.
Kieran Go on the turn has done beautifully to play it in. Doumbia! Really good block by the diving Viner, and Bristol City survive. That was much better from Watford, much more potency about their attacking play. Now they work it forward. Lucer knows that he's offside and can't make a run for it. He ordered Doumbia forward, and Doumbia got there, but Viner can again clear. It comes off the top of Kayembe's head, just a little plume of spray off the top of his head as the ball hits it as well. Randall knocks the ball down for Viner. Viner can work it through the midfield. All of a sudden, it opens up for Twine, who's coming through the centre circle. Armstrong makes a run through the middle. It's gone to the left-hand side for Anis Mehmeti. The challenge comes in from Lucer, and he's played it off the Bristol City man for a goal kick.
Oh, two big chances, obviously. One from the Watford's perspective. Doumbia, it was a lovely strike, wasn't it? But Viner's thrown himself in front of the ball and he saved his team now in that second goal. And the one thing I would say about this team, this Watford team, is that because there's so many rotations, especially with the two midfielders there, especially Lucer, you know, he's all over the pitch. When it breaks down, there's a massive hole in the middle of the pitch. And that's where Scott Twine is loving it. You know, if his team can find him with that first or second pass, Watford could be in trouble.
Now Doumbia onside as the ball is worked forward down towards the right-hand corner flag. Back for Petrie on the corner of the box. Lucer arrives, flicks it off. Kayembe trying to get the ball out from between his feet, and when he does so, he gets a left-footed shot in from 25 yards. It's a low skidder along the deck, and it's very comfortably claimed by the diving Vitek away to his right-hand side, and it remains 1-1 with 8 minutes to go to half-time.
Kayembe just couldn't get that touch, could he? You know, just fell in between his feet, really. Wanted it to fall on his left foot. Maybe that one touch, that first touch, was a sticky touch. It's a lovely ball by Lucer again. Just a little deft touch around the corner. Kind of like shown the eyes, really. And it was a lovely executed pass. The weight of it was brilliant.
Mehmeti to Dickey, and now to Randall. Bit more space for him in the midfield. Watford haven't been able to get Kieran Go into the game, really. The Danish striker, the leader of the line, the number 9. Mehmeti's ball over the top, drifting over the shoulder of goalscorer Twine, who's then fouled over on the right-hand touchline by Bola. And that'll be a free kick to Bristol City, but as I say, right on the touchline. So this isn't in a position that Twine's going to be able to shoot. Still put a decent ball in from there, but maybe not quite as dangerous as some other positions might be.
Such a silly free kick to give away by Mark Boller there. I mean, Twine's going absolutely nowhere. He's on the touchline, but he's right in front of the assistant referee. I mean, you know that he's going to give a free kick there, and this is a big opportunity now for Bristol City to potentially get that second goal. Opportunity for Rob Dickey. We've not seen Rob Dickey just yet in an attacking sense. He's been defending for his life for the first 38 minutes.
Well, Dickey stands close to the penalty spot. Maulu is in there as well. And McCrory is actually free at the back post. If the delivery is deep enough here from Twine. Viner an option on the edge of the penalty area, but he's making his way into the fray now. As Bristol City look to get themselves ahead for the first time tonight. Hit in by Twine. Viner coming to meet it, looping header. Goalkeeper elects to punch it away from Armstrong when perhaps he might have caught it. And now Petrie can bring it forward, but fouls McCrory. And it's a free kick that'll be taken by Bristol City on the left. He then, after the ball had gone, kicked it away. And he has already been booked. I think Paul Tierney's been really sensible and thinking that Petrie was probably just about committed to that clearance before the whistle was blown.
Yeah, he's took a massive gamble there, hasn't he? Petrie is disappointed. I'm not too sure it is a free kick. It was just a body-to-body, a little check. He's come out the better of it, but again, looks like it's Twine again on the ball. He's going to, again, put it on the money. We've seen that. He's such a fantastic delivery.
So this one, only a yard and a half in from the left-hand touchline. It's swung in towards the penalty spot and well dealt with. Twine winning the seconds away from Irankunda. Work it through towards Tanner. Bristol City very quickly switch it from left to right and then back inside their own half for the retreating Tanner, who goes back for Robert Vitak. Out from him to Viner. Bristol City have certainly been buoyed by that wonderful equalising goal, and their best football of the night has come since they've made it 1-1. You would Talksport 2, Jim Proudfoot and Sean Derry talking you through the action of Vicarage Road, where it's all square. Now McCrory making his way forward inside the penalty area, well defended by Elaine, who got in between McCrory and the ball and then stuck the brakes on, allowing his goalkeeper to come out and claim it.
Yeah, that's lovely defending by Max Elaine. He saw the threat of McCrory and he just filled the gap, didn't he, between the goalkeeper and the player himself. He's not really been challenged too much, Max Elaine.
He's certainly a player that they regard very highly at Manchester City. And I think I'm right in saying he's yet to see the light of day for the first team. Only recalled tonight by Watford after about a month or so out of the picture. Here's Caban to Pollock. Kayembe. Time to turn for him in the midfield. Chips one over the top for Irankunda's run. Kirango chases after that, but Tanner's there to knock it away. Loose ball drifts innocuously over the right-hand touchline. Out of play for a Bristol City throw. Last season, made it through to the playoffs, and the playoff campaign ended really in the opening 45 minutes of the first leg against Sheffield United, but that was their best campaign since 2008 when they finished fourth. Desperately trying to return to top-flight football for the first time since the days of Jerry Gow and Tom Ritchie back in 1980. Never played Premier League football. Had that brief spell in the top flight at the end of the 70s. Now they've got another opportunity to get themselves ahead here with the first long throw of the night from that Bristol City right. Nearly everybody forward to attack it. Hurled in towards the near post and easily cleared. Comes out for Twine. Twine can't beat his man. Watford smash it away towards halfway. And the loose ball runs out for a throw that'll be taken by Anis Mehmeti, and his first thought to go back for Vitak, who's sprinted outside his penalty area to show for it. Rolling the studs of his right boot over the top of the ball before laying it out towards Viner. Now Mehmeti. Chip forward for the run of Sinclair Armstrong. Pollock has followed him every step of the way and heads clear Out of play for a Bristol City throw, but they're on top coming up towards half-time now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the runs of the centre forwards, especially Sinclair Armstrong, I mean, he's causing some problems now. Found his channel, his more favoured channel of this left-hand side of the pitch, and I think they can see him and get the ball to him a little bit more, actually, Jim. He's demanding, isn't he? You know, I look at some of his reactions when he don't get the ball. You know, he wants the ball, he wants to be in possession.
And he is again here. And Petrie following him, putting it out of play for another throw that will be left for Viner to take. Certainly been the more effective of the two forwards for Bristol City, as Armstrong. Maulu on his first start of the season has not really been able to contribute too heavily so far. Viner turning, the ball going down as Roberts falls inside the penalty area. No hint that that was going to be given as a penalty. It goes out for a throw that will be taken again on the Watford right. We're in the last minute of the scheduled 45. Probably 3 to be added, I guess, after the lengthy stoppage following the Watford goal and the injury to the scorer Mark Bowler. The fourth official's got the numbers board in his hand, and we'll find out from Adam Herchek in a moment how many extra minutes are going to be added. City coming forward again towards the edge of the box with Mehmeti, leaving it for Roberts, who played at centre-half last week, playing at left wing-back tonight, and winning a corner, which is Bristol City's first of the night as we prepare to go into stoppage time.
Yeah, great chance now. I mean, if Watford go into this half-time conceding here, they will be kicking themselves. Generally, they've played well over that first half an hour. Bristol City just found a little bit of confidence on the back of that goal.
Armstrong being pulled inside the 6-yard box as the corner comes in. It's knocked away. Right-footed volley back by Viner. It was also blocked as we go to 3 additional minutes. Watford clear, then give it away. It was Aaron Kunda that couldn't hold it up. Twine has it on the right flank, and he's won another corner, which will be taken over on the far touchline.
Corners have been good for both teams. Right on the money, underneath the goalkeeper. Slight little blocks, you know, just stepping across the line of the goalkeepers. Seeing it more and more, aren't we? I mean, Arsenal, 55% of their goals this season scored by set plays. You know, it's such a massive tactic. It really is.
A remarkable statistic. And one that probably isn't sustainable. As a Watford player goes down inside the 6-yard box. I don't think it will have to be sustainable because they haven't scored that many goals from open play. And I think that will also probably gravitate back towards the norm as well. So I just think that I'm not saying that Arsenal will score fewer goals. I just think a lower proportion of them are going to come from set pieces as the weeks go on. In comes this latest corner in towards the near post. McCrory attacking it. It's hit his shoulder, looped up in the air, and Selvik can come out and claim it. Big Norwegian flag in the Graham Taylor stand over on that far side in honour of Egil Selvik. Just kept the one clean sheet for Watford so far this season, which came in the last home game against Middlesbrough. They won that one convincingly by 3-0, but it's a tougher prospect as it turns out tonight, despite the excellent start that the Hornets made. Alain with the ball forward. Aaron Kunda is chasing after it. Couldn't find a way past Tanner. And the loose ball rolls through towards Vitek. Sum up the first half for us then, Sean.
Well, I thought that Watford started incredibly well. We was unsure about what the style of play would look like, but got on the ball, especially the captain, Loser, got his team fantastically in front with a beautiful goal. I mean, it really was. I thought they took the level of quality into the game was all about Watford. I didn't feel that Bristol City carried any quality in the opening period of the game, and then suddenly they grow into it. Really poor free kick that Petrie gave away. I mean, he'll look back at that at half time and he'll be kicking himself. And then they've grown into confidence, haven't they? And they've just made a slight tactical change now. Bristol City have, with the centre forward. They're just playing in different areas, and it's causing Watford a lot of problems.
Vitek with the clearance, ball bouncing down in the midfield. It's the last action of the first half, with the City in possession on the edge of their own penalty area and 2 players leaving it for each other for a moment. It was Twine and Viner. Viner got it back to his goalkeeper, and Twine was quick to apologise for the mix-up. taking the responsibility. McCrory then trying to beat his man. And referee Paul Tierney indicates that will do. A first half in which Watford took the lead and were excellent for the opening 25 minutes. A lovely ball over the top from Louza. Bowler running onto it and slotting the ball in to give Watford the lead. Bristol City had very few opportunities, but then Petrie dished one up for them. Foul on the edge of the penalty area, and Scott Twine took the free kick, whacked it over the wall and into the bottom left-hand corner. A quite marvellous finish, one of his best, and you can pay him no higher a compliment than that. Bristol City the better side after that. We get to half-time at 1 apiece.
On the stats, Watford edged that first half, but you're absolutely right, Jim. Expected goals 0.92 for Watford to 0.14 of Bristol City. They've had 64% possession, 7 shots to Bristol City's 5, 4 on target to Bristol City's 2, and they've had 3 big chances to 0 officially for Bristol City, which kind of underlines the quality of that Scott Twine free kick. We'll get to that in a moment, Sean. It was a brilliant start, though, from Watford, capped off by the goal from Mark Boller. When it came, a beautiful pass from Imran Louza, which we've come to expect, but it was a great touch and finish from Boller to put the home side in front.
Well, it was, and we spoke about this back five and how you can maximise it when you've got your wing-backs as efficient as Watford's were in them opening 20 minutes. I mean, Bowler just started off, he came from a wide area and he found himself in that second centre-forward position. But the ball, Hugh, was absolutely on the money, wasn't it? It really was. It had everything. It had pace. You know, he didn't have to break sweat. And the finish was good as well. Take nothing away from, you know, we talk about the ball from Imran Louza, but the goal itself, it was a fantastic goal. We've seen 2 really good goals tonight. I mean, the free kick. Oh, wow. How many times have we seen that?
It's a beautiful free kick. A superb equaliser, which came against the run of play, didn't it? I mean, Luca, and I'll always pronounce his surname wrong, so Jim will correct me on this, I'm sure. Kiramgur. Is that right? Luca Kiramgur?
It was like his mother had pronounced it.
6'6". He jumped in that wall. Scott Twine still managed to get it up and down and inside the post from a fairly acute angle, which made it an absolute classic free kick. He's got to take a bow after that one.
Well, he has to, and that's the thing. I mentioned it on air as well, Hugh. When you're up against these teams, and you know you're working your way into a weekend's game, and then you go, well, hang on a minute. There's a guy there called Scott Twine, and he's an absolute set play specialist. Tell you what, we won't do. We won't give free kicks around the edge of the 18-yard box at any point of the game. And it was such a silly free kick to give away because, respectfully, there was enough bodies behind the ball to defend the action. But take nothing away from Scott Twine. I mean, that was just inch perfect. It really was. It was a beautiful executed set play.
You think the goalkeeper Selvik could have done better? Or is it just that good?
Maybe, I don't know. It had enough pace and power on it, didn't it? You know, he took him into the side netting, didn't he, bless him? You know, he was trying to save the goal, but it was he was getting nowhere near it.
It was a very important goal, came at a very important time as well, because it felt like Watford was so relaxed, so in control. How has it changed the complexion of that first half?
Well, the strength of this system that Watford have adopted tonight is actually a big weakness for them as well, because whenever the 2 midfielders fall out of position, Louza and Kayembe, that first pass out of possession is really important for Bristol City, and they've just started to find it, whether that's into the midfield with Scott Twine or Randall or Mehmeti just driving into them little central areas. But more importantly, Sinclair Armstrong's now playing a different type of game. People look at him and go, right, go and have a bully up and get up against centre-halves. I don't think that's his strength whatsoever. I think his strength is playing away from centre-halves. And the big space for this Watford team is down the side of the full-backs and the right side of centre-half in particular. So that left-hand channel has become massive for Bristol City, and I think we'll see a lot more of that in the second half.
How do Watford reassert themselves, get themselves back on top, get the home crowd behind them once again?
Well, the crowd have just booed the referee on the way off. Of course, you know, they're slightly disappointed because I think generally they'd be quite happy with what their team's delivered tonight. The start of the second half's got to be in the same manner of the start of the first half. They grabbed hold of that ball, they used it really efficiently. Play a few more forward balls, I would say. You know, they just got lulled into that safety game in the mid part of that first half, especially when they conceded that first half. And I wouldn't mind seeing, in my opinion, the fullbacks, Mark Bowler and Petrie, again, join that top line. They've just come back into a back five of late.
Okay, all right, we'll see if those changes in the second half will come our way. It's once again a very intriguing game in the Championship, finally poised at the break where just about any outcome could happen in the second half. Predictably unpredictable in the EFL, if I can say it myself. Watford won, Bristol City won at half-time.
The unstoppable force of live football.
Brilliant goal!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Get ahead of the game every supercharged sporting Saturday on Talksport with Travis Perkins. Make the warm-up a part of your weekly matchday ritual.
The game is underway.
And get an unrivaled preview of all the upcoming unmissable football action.
Absolutely first class.
With expert predictions, pitch-perfect analysis and a top-flight lineup of guests. Guaranteed. The warm-up with Max Rushton and Charlie Baker. Tomorrow morning from 9 on Talksport with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade.
It's your shot at a maximum break with Johnston's Trade Paints. Win one of 147 prizes, including a luxury holiday worth £10,000. Every purchase of 5-litre Cover Plus vinyl mat gives you a chance to pot a prize. Cover Plus now goes even further than before. Available at your local Johnston's Decorating Centre or partner stockist nationwide. Terms and conditions apply. See online for details.
When you buy a BMW approved used electric car, there are no surprises. You'll find the largest range and the widest choice. Naturally, every car has been meticulously checked by qualified BMW technicians. Hardly a plot twist. And they always come with a battery health report and at least 12 months unlimited mileage BMW warranty. Just as you'd expect. BMW approved used electric cars. Nothing new here. Search BMW approved used electric. Obviously.
There you were, prepping for the perfect date night at home. Love songs cued, cushions fluffed. There was just one thing missing. The food. But look at you now. With Deliveroo, you brought date night home in as little as 25 minutes. Their favourite pasta from the local Italian, nailed it. Or the perfect wine from your favourite supermarket, order it in. Deliveroo, now just got even better. Subject to availability, delivery times vary. See in-app geographical restrictions, service and delivery fees and terms apply. 18 plus, drink responsibly.
In her framing shop, Sally's got an eye for precision, plus a computer full of customer orders and precious memories. There are locks on the doors and sensors on the windows. But what's securing it all is BT Cybersecurity. With business antivirus, cloud protection, and security awareness training, it helps stop threats before they strike, keeping sensitive business data safe. Because protecting your business takes more than just toughened glass and a steady hand. Cybersecurity is everyone's business. Search BT Business Cybersecurity.
Okay, that's 6 of the ragu and the linguine. Make a move, everyone, please.
The customers are rolling in at Stefano's new restaurant, so he needs another chef. Someone with a cool head and an appetite for success.
More flour in the bechamel, let's go.
Indeed can help him find great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Sponsor a job on Indeed to unlock more tools that save you time and help you hire quality candidates. To start hiring, visit Indeed.com/try today.
There's never been a better time to join Sky.
Oh my God.
This autumn, for our lowest price, you won't just get all of Sky Sports with more Premier League and WSL games than ever before.
Staggering moments!
And every F1 race live.
Absolutely epic!
You'll also get unmissable entertainment from Sky and Netflix too.
We're going to have so much fun.
Visit Sky.com. Sky. Believe in better. New Sky TV customers only require Sky Stream and relevant Sky TV subscriptions. Minimum broadband speed of 25 megabits per second recommended. 18 plus.
It's the totally immersive football experience.
Right foot in. Oh, what a goal!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
What a big weekend we've got on Talksport.
And it's about to heat up again.
Polinia, it is 2-0.
It's found Fernandez. He can find the corner.
And this is the moment. This is the season.
Great ball, Marino, 2-0. Lovely goal for Arsenal.
Second deflection and in. Goal within 44 seconds in the second half. Caicedo down the middle. He squares it to Pedro. It's 1-0 to Chelsea.
Schade, he's in. He scores.
Back out to Guimaraes, and Bruno Guimaraes gets above the marker and heads the ball in.
Tapped in by Watkins. 1-1. And Semenyo finishes the night off.
You just don't get drama like this anywhere else.
This is a big game for both these clubs.
Saar hits it in for 3! Into the area, Welbeck's header! And they've done it! What an epic battle we have unfolding. It's Haaland! It's another record, another goal. Given away, Mo Salah! This time he'll count.
The drama, the tension.
This is Premier League football at its best.
Well, you're listening to EFL Live here on Talksport 2. We're at half-time. It is Watford 1, Bristol City 1. Mark Boller's early opener for the home side cancelled out by a classic Scott Twine free kick. We're going to have full second half commentary to come shortly here, but a reminder, Saturday is game day across the Talksport network. 4 more live and exclusive commentaries to come for you on Talksport. We're going to bring you 2 massive Premier League games. Spurs against Manchester United at 12:30, and that is followed by Chelsea against managerless Wolves at 8 p.m. Here on Talksport 2, we've got a double header of Championship action as Millwall host Preston at lunchtime before Coventry travel to Stoke at 3 in a huge top-of-the-table clash. And let's hear now from the Coventry City boss, Frank Lampard, who's fully aware of the magnitude of tomorrow's game.
Obviously, when you're playing first against second, it gets built up a lot. That's fine. You have to take that on, the extra focus that's maybe needed, or we always focus, but just to understand the level of the game, a team that are playing very well. They're a strong team. Had a great week. They're playing well and scoring goals, positions that we've been in before, but that's something for them to look at. We can control ourselves and how we approach the game, and we'll do that in the next 24 hours.
Could end the day 7 points clear at the top if other results go their way. You can hear commentary's trip to Stoke here on Talksport 2 at 3 p.m. All the build-up from around 2:30. Tomorrow on Talksport, we've got that bonus 8 p.m. kickoff as Frank Lampard's former club Chelsea host managerless Wolves at Stamford Bridge. The club have had an official approach for Middlesbrough manager Rob Edwards rejected this week. Edwards, though, missed training and his press conference today. We'll see if he's in the dugout for Borough tomorrow. Interim boss James Collins of Wolves is confident that despite being bottom of the Premier League table, 8 points adrift, they can turn their fortunes around.
I said to the players on the first day, I think when you're in it, you feel like you listen to the outside noise. There's 28 games to go, nearly 90 points to play for. And if you listen to everybody out there, Wolves are down. I don't see it that way. You know, put some results together, put some performances together. You need a bit of luck along the way as well at places like Chelsea, of course you do. But I think there's a lot of time left and a lot of points to play for. And that was what the message we delivered to the players this week is. It starts now, 28 games to go. Let's get some points.
Well, Chelsea are looking for their 4th win in their last 5 Premier League games. They made 7 changes for their 2-2 draw against Karabag out in Azerbaijan on Wednesday night. Their manager Enzo Maresca has responded to comments made by the former England captain Wayne Rooney about the constant rotation of his side.
We are in a moment, in an era where anyone can say what they want. It's correct. I completely respect. But I also said after Karabakh game that since I joined the club, it's also my view to rotate player, and no one complain. In the moment that you don't win game, I can understand that no one is agree. When the rotation is Andrei Santos, Brazil international player, Jorel Lato, Holland international player, Estevao, Brazil international player, it's not about rotation. They are good, they are talented, they are young. And for sure, when they are young, you have to give them the chance to make some mistake, to be better. The same thing, I think, happened in the past with Josh Chipong. But again, I understand that when you don't win game, the problem is the rotation or different things.
Well, you can hear both Chelsea against Wolves, 8 p.m. tomorrow night, exclusively live on Talksport. Remember, Spurs against Manchester United, also an exclusive 12:30 lunchtime kickoff from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Remember, this evening, we're getting things started this weekend from Vicarage Road in the Championship. We've had a couple of great goals in the first half. At the break, Watford 1, Bristol City 1.
And it's a ball over the top that Aaron Kunda's trying to bring down, and he slipped it past the goalkeeper. And Watford lead inside the opening 7 minutes with Mark Bowler's first goal for the club.
You've got to say that's a wonderful finish by Mark Bowler, but the pass made the goal.
Scott Twine, though, from free kicks is sensational. Right-footed, he's hit this one magnificently. His array of free kicks, quite remarkable. the moment of Scott Twine brilliance gets Bristol City back on level terms.
I mean, how many times have we seen that by Scott Twine? But that's a stunning free kick.
Big second half in front of us, live on Talksport 2. The players back out on the pitch for the second half. I'll leave you with your commentary team, the former Crystal Palace and QPR captain, Sean Derry, who's alongside Talksport's Jim Proudfoot.
Hugh, thank you. Well, no sign of any changes for Bristol City ahead of the second half. They are already out. Watford just letting them come out and get cold and wet because they haven't reappeared for the second period as yet. Bristol City with Vitek in goal, Tanner, Dickey and Viner, McCrory, Twine, Randall, McMetty and Roberts, with Armstrong and Mayulu up front. And on the bench, Hirakawa, Rees, Yaboa, Peckover, Morrison, Meerholtz, Thomas, and goalkeepers O'Leary and Lumley. Watford in their customary yellow and red out for the second half as well. And they're not making any changes, so it's Selvig in goal, Kevin, Pollock and Elaine, Petrie, Lusa, Kayambi and Bola. And then Doumbia and Irankunda playing inside four behind Kilimgo up front. Paul Tierney, the referee, has booked both Petrie and Irankunda in that first half. And it's going to be Watford who will get us underway for the second period. Kicking from right to left. Big Luca Kilimgo with the first touch of the second half. Laying it back for Lusa. From him to Elaine. And Watford will be able to get on the front foot from the off. Laid out towards Jeremy Petrie. Sean Derry alongside me. What's the gist of the half-time team talk from Javi Gracia? How does he replicate the levels that Watford had in the first 25 minutes rather than what he saw in the final 10?
Yeah, and they'll be the reminders, won't he? He'll be in there. I mean, I watched him coming off in the dugout. He didn't look too happy, Jim. You know, he was remonstrating with the officials. He was a little bit emotional coming into the changing rooms, and he's got to keep his composure. That rubs off on the lads straight away. You know, I'll be looking at his captain. You know, give him the ball as often as possible. You know, he loves being in possession of the football. He's just won it back again now. And he's the one who gets this team going. He really does. The one thing you've got to try and keep him, and this is I'm not knocking him for sure, but he just vacates his position at certain moments. And when he vacates his position, that's where this Watford team look like they're a little bit fragile.
Well, this is a free kick here. The referee Tierney allowed play to continue for as long as he could with Watford in possession. He deemed they had no advantage. Something similar has then happened in the next phase of play as Mark Bola is fouled. He's back on his feet and retrieves the loose ball himself. Just walks it back down to roughly where the free kick was given away. And he takes it back for Elaine. Elaine to Lusa. And then spread across the defensive line for Kevin Caban, the former Toulouse player. Out towards the right-hand touchline. A lovely piece of skill to flick the ball from his right foot to his left to get past one Bristol City player. The City won it back, punned it forward. It'll be chased by Fali Mayulu. And easily mopped up at the back by Elaine, but it was a loose touch from him. And McMetty can seize upon it and run towards the edge of the penalty area. Then he's stopped in his tracks by Kayembe, who looked as though he'd given a free kick away. He hasn't. Watford can bring it forward. Lusa, Irankunda coming onto it. Couldn't take it in his stride inside the penalty area, and the chance had quickly gone.
Oh, it was a great break for Watford. It really was. Lovely drive in the middle of the pitch there by Lusa. It was a lovely weighted pass once again. And it was just moving too quickly, wasn't he? Irankunda, it's as if his feet were just moving too quickly. He wanted to get that shot off as quickly as possible. He did to just calm himself down at the vital moment.
There's one of the teenagers in the Watford side tonight, the Australian international. Here's Bola, great ball through the 6-yard box. Too far ahead of Kieran Gore. And nobody else could get there. It bounces through the 6-yard box, travels out to the right, comes back out for Kayembe, who has snatched at a low shot and driven it well wide of the near post.
Not enough bodies in the box for Watford there. A lovely ball once again by the captain, and an even better ball into the 6-yard box. That second 6-yard box, there was one particular player in a yellow shirt there. It's not enough, you know, you need 3 or 4 in there. It was a lovely break. There was enough time to make the box, and that desire to break yourself and get yourself into that box, that's what Watford didn't show there.
And McCrory going up for the ball that is played forward. And it goes out of play for a throw to Bristol City on this near touchline. Have lost 4 of the last 5 here at the Robins, although a couple of years ago they won 4-1. And Watford beat Bristol City 6-0 here as recently as 2021. They were 4 up after barely half an hour that day. Sinclair Armstrong makes his way forward and has won a free kick. But it is on the right-hand side of the penalty area, so not necessarily in prime Twine territory.
God, how good was he there, Jim? I mean, you see a lot of centre-forwards there just want to hit the deck straight away, get a little bit of aggression, try and buy that free kick, but he fought players off, 2 or 3 Watford shirts around him, stuck on his feet, and he's just great honesty, great aggression about him.
And he's won this free kick that Twine and Mehmeti stand over. They've actually spotted it down near the corner of the box. Now the referee has put his line of spray down. 2 in the wall, Lusa and Irankunda. In fact, Lusa now makes his way away. Irankunda will turn. The Watford number 66. And Twine stands over the free kick. Mehmeti's vacated the scene. Twine swinging it in deep towards the far post. Free header back across the 6-yard box, but McCrory couldn't turn it in. Comes back out again, another ball driven in. Dickey still up there. Watford can deal with that, and Kayembe should be able to bring it away. She's toe poked it into space. Irankunda takes it on, and this time he can run with the ball at his feet. For good covering from Roberts, stopped him getting too far. He's made probably 20 yards, and he's won a throw on the Hornets' left.
I tell you what, if we look at that set play again, that's a really big chance there for Bristol City. I mean, it was a wonderfully executed ball once again into the box. Just fell to the centre forward, didn't it?
Here's Irankunda. Now Mo Bola trying to wriggle his way past his man. McCrory taking a very physical approach at attempting to stop him, but he has been able to. And referee Tierney again gets the bird from the Watford supporters for letting that go. Hornets break for the next phase of play with a lane. And towards the right-hand side for Petrie. Petrie sliding it in. Kieran Gore couldn't get a shot in. And that one's knocked away by Randall. Armstrong with a touch. Back towards Mehmeti, who didn't read it quickly enough. Doumbia goes down, no foul. And then Lusa has the ball in his hands after the referee puts whistle to mouth. He's actually given the free kick Adam Randall's way.
Amazing. I mean, you see some of the decisions he's given the referee tonight, Paul Tierney. I mean, he's alienated himself away from this crowd. I don't know what you've seen there. I mean, it was a clear foul for me. We've just seen the replay now. It's a pull from Mehmeti on Doumbia. I mean, it's a clear foul for Watford there. Terrible decision by Paul Tierney.
Paul Tierney back in the middle, incidentally, having been on VAR duties exclusively last season. I think this only his second championship game of this season as Bristol City work it forward here. Out came the goalkeeper, Bola not taking any chances, and he swept it away from in front of him. Away from Fali Maiulu, who's the player that had that really good opportunity from the last Bristol City set piece. A player who made his name in Austria and was back there last season, spent the second half of the last campaign on loan at Sturm Graz. He's 24 without a goal coming in today, the Bristol City number 9. And the man alongside him scored 1 in 36.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you know, both number 9s, one for Watford and one for Bristol City. We didn't see anything of them both in the first half. They're 2 players in particular that needs to increase their level going into the remaining parts of this game. We've not seen anything from them.
Petrie being pulled back. Referee's played the advantage. He's made 30 yards. Still 10 yards adrift at the edge of the Bristol City box. Out on the right-hand side. Mehmeti back, has won the ball, and then a delayed but I think correct decision from the referee and a yellow card for Anis Mehmeti.
Yeah, to be fair, look, I'm criticising the referee, but he's trying to let this game continue, isn't he? You know, he's not pulling up fouls just willy-nilly. He wants a little bit of entertainment from the game, and he's giving it him. I mean, he let it go there for far too long for me, though.
So Mehmeti, the first Bristol City player to be cautioned tonight. It's his 4th yellow of the season, the Albanian international. And the Hornets have an opportunity. Kayembe waits, unmarked, hands on hips on the edge of the D. He's got 5 teammates ahead of him inside the penalty area. Ball swung in very deep. Kieran Gorgo up for it, but it only headed into the ground. And it's a very easy claim for Radek Vitek.
What it was in the end, I mean, McCrory done really well, actually. He's got enough contact on Kurungar there. It was, I thought it was going to be a free header, but he just very quickly saw the danger. Got himself attached to the centre forward. Good defending there by the full-back for Bristol City.
Robins have taken as many points away from home this season as they have at home, in stark contrast to the Hornets themselves, who, if the table was based on home form alone, would be in the top 3. And if it was based on away form alone, they'd be bottom and relegated. They've just taken 3 points from 7 games on the road, 16 from 7 here. Losing to Blackburn, drawing against Southampton, but beating everybody else. 1-1 tonight. McCrory coming forward down the Bristol City rights, come back inside, rolls it in towards Mehmeti, lets it run across his body, and that's a fine stop from the diving Selvik, who got down late but got a strong left hand to it to flick it past the post. Looked like he was beaten. It's a fine save.
It was a great save in the end. I thought he was going to slip him in, Mehmeti. There was an overload on the outside and caught the goalkeeper unaware, but he moved his feet and, more importantly, his hand, his strong hand, taking it around the post for a corner. Lovely breakaway from Bristol City.
Third Bristol City corner. Twine's going to take it from their right flank with 10 minutes into the second half. Here on Talksport 2, it's 1 apiece. Swept in towards the penalty spot. 2 City players go up for it. Viner was one of them, McCrory the other. Neither got clean contact, unsurprisingly. Ball comes towards halfway. And it was a long way out. And got it away. Watford bring it forward again with Aaron Kunda. Aaron Kunda battling hard, gets towards the byline, pulls it back from the byline, and it's swept into the side netting by Bolla. Just got his angle completely wrong. It's only 5-6 yards out, and he's probably put it 2 yards wider than near post.
Oh, it's lovely wing play, isn't it? Fantastic wing play by Aaron Kunde there. I mean, he had one thing in his mind, and that was to enter the box at pace. And what we saw 10 minutes ago, that his feet were moving too quickly through his body, they weren't there. I mean, he was really under control there, and a brilliant pullback for Mark Bowler. Should have been his second goal of the night for Mark Bowler.
A double change being made by Bristol City. And we're going to see McCrory off, and Yu Hirakawa, who started the first couple of league games this season but hasn't started one since. He will come on to replace him at right wing back. And Fali Mayulu makes way to be replaced by Emil Rees, the man whose place he took. Rees, the Danish striker, signed from Preston. He got a dozen goals in Lancashire last season, but has never scored against Watford. And he comes on hoping to add to his season's tally of 4. So a double change made 12 minutes into the second half. Vitek with a long ball forward, running onto the head of Elaine, battling. Emil Rees wins it, looking for Armstrong. He was beaten in the air by Pollock. Lusa always looks as though he's got time in possession in the midfield. He's found Aaron Kunda, who's becoming a more potent threat. Back from him to Kayembe. Kayembe turning one way and then the other, trying to draw Rees into a challenge and then sending the ball through the centre circle. Out it goes to the right. Jeremy Petrie making his way forward. In off the right flank. Finding Doumbia to Kayembe. Kayembe to Elaine. Bristol City keeping things tight and neat. The 5-3-2 formation off the ball. Mark Bowler receiving on the left-hand touchline, nudging it infield past Yu Hirakawa. Kayembe's got a little bit of space. Lusa didn't really have too much. Randall was snapping at his heels, so Lusa just played the way that he was facing immediately. Lays it back for Matty Pollock. Will open up his body and send it out to the right flank as Watford very patient in this phase of play. He's trying to draw Bristol City out and towards them, but Robin's not playing that game. Struber's men just sitting tight at the moment. Kayembe back inside his own half for Pollock again. Pollock will take the ball towards halfway before playing the pass. Lane had made a good run to his left, but he's looked for Lucer and found him. Nice little 1-2 involving the Watford captain. Second pass that he plays goes straight through to Scott Twine, and he can lay it back for his goalkeeper Vitek, and it's 1-1 with an hour mark approaching.
Well, they've made a call. They've made 2 changes. I was just looking at the reaction of Ross McCrory there. He was not happy coming off the pitch. I mean, he'd had a good. I thought he had a good second half. I thought he was joining the attack well, but the managers pulled him, and he was fuming going down the tunnel.
Yeah, the Scottish international off. A player who played a left wing back during the week before Neto Borges' injury. The ball worked forward through the midfield. Now Rees goes out to the far touchline, and Roberts chased after it, couldn't keep it in. And Watford are going to make a triple change. We're going to see Ngakia, Barr, and also Mama. Othman Mama, the Moroccan winger who they signed from Montpellier. He's just won the Under-20 World Cup. They think he's got a great future ahead of him. He made his debut for the last 20 minutes at Ipswich on Tuesday, and he's going to be one of the players coming on here. And Ngakia and Kwadwo Barr, the others. Barr, who yellow card away from a suspension as he enters the fray. Doumbia is coming off. Mama on for him. And Iran Kunda is also going to make way with Kwadwo Barr coming on. What are your thoughts on those changes, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm a little bit surprised, actually. I thought the 2 wide players for Watford in particular, Jeremy Petrie, I thought he'd done well, especially the first half. I thought he had a really good first half. Probably brought him off because he got booked, actually, Jim. And I mean, look at these boys who have come on, and it gives them a chance. It gives them a real big chance to make a stake a claim in this team. I mean, there's a lot still to play for this game. I'm surprised the managers have gone as early as this, actually. I know subs are made generally around the 60 minutes, but I didn't think too much was too wrong. I was enjoying the game.
Yeah, that triple change on the hour for Watford. Bristol City made their double on 57. And here's Mama involved in the action straight away. He's picked up possession. He's pirouetted whilst they're keeping the ball down by his right foot and flicks it out towards the right-hand side. Good ovation for Petrie as he's made his way round from that far touchline to take up his place on the bench. Down away to our left, Kayembe. Out on the right-hand side, the ball fired inside the Bristol City penalty area, but a little bit too hot. Bowler's done well to win it back. Let's fly. Left-footed effort is well blocked by Tanner. Comes down through the midfield. Kayembe picking up possession after the lane went in strongly against Armstrong. Now Lusa, losing out to Hirakawa. Bristol City can't break, though. There's the challenge of Caban that saw to that. And then Roberts works it down the Bristol City left, only for Pollock to come across and sweep up in front of Hirakawa. It's 1-1, 17 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, it's just a little bit all over the place at the minute, this game. Last 5 or 10 minutes, it's just lost a little bit of its flow. Obviously, the new players coming on the pitch, you've got to find their feet straight away. It's seeing if there's any changes of shape. I think both teams are following the same shape that they played in the first half and this opening period of the second.
And the Rees turns the ball to his left-hand side for Mehmeti. If you're just joining us, Bowler on 6 minutes gave Watford a very early lead. Scott Twine's brilliant free kick just before the half-hour mark cancelled it out. We've played another half hour or so since. 1-1 it's still. Bowler, Kayembe letting it run. Mama coming onto it, but couldn't get a shot in, just delayed. Had he not done so, it could have been different. Now Bristol City will break. Twine, great ball forward. Sinclair Armstrong running onto it and hits it straight at the goalkeeper. Had Rees to his right. And Selvik hurt making the save. But he was through, clean through, one-on-one. Went for glory. And the keeper made himself big and keeps it at 1-1.
Well, it came from the transition of play, didn't it? I mean, Watford had a fantastic chance only 20 seconds before. I mean, it was a poorly distributed ball right at the very end, and then they're having to deal with a counter-attack, and what you don't want to do is leave space in behind. I mean, that's a wonderful run by Sinclair Armstrong. And that's probably the one thing you would say that lets him down, is just that little finesse. It's enough of the goal to actually slide it down past the goalkeeper's left-hand channel. He's hurt himself with the save. It's a good save in the end from
Selvik. Yeah,
Selvik.
I mean, he came out very quickly. Second important save of this second half.
Yeah, he came off his line really quickly, narrowed the angle, but you'd be hoping that Sinclair Armstrong will put his team ahead there.
Reece wasn't happy that the ball wasn't knocked square.
No, he wasn't. Absolutely not. I mean, I'm not too sure that Sinclair Armstrong's going to just knock it square. I think as a centre forward, you just finish the attack. I mean, there was enough space for him to just slide it down the side. We've seen the replay of the Watford attack. Yeah, some just poor decision making, and there's 6 bodies in front of the ball there, and then they fight, and they're having to recover then. I think it was Barr at the end of it.
So it remains 1-1. It stays this way. Watford will edge up to 11th. Bristol City will stay 7th. The top 2 in action against each other tomorrow. And that is live on Talksport 2. Kicks off at 3. Stoke against Coventry, which promises to be a belter, one of the most significant games of the Championship season so far. And that is live on Talksport 2 tomorrow. We've also got Spurs against Manchester United on Talksport, which kicks off at 12:30, and Chelsea Wolves at 8. That's 2 live games from the Premier League tomorrow, and we've got 2 from the Championship as well, because another top 5 battle, Millwall against Preston, is Saturday lunchtime fare, 12:30 from the Den on Talksport 2. So that's Spurs, Manchester United and Chelsea Wolves at 12:30 and 8 on Talksport. Millwall Preston followed by Stoke against Coventry at 12:30 here on Talksport 2 tomorrow. Kayembe in possession here for Watford. Just pulls the ball back towards Alain. Alain into the feet of Imran Lousa. Lousa just trying to clip one with a little bit of spin over the top for the run from Barr, but he didn't read it, and he drifts through to goalkeeper Radek Vitek. Barr, the former Rochdale man, who's got a couple of goals this season. He came off the bench and scored against Southampton. We've seen twice as many appearances as a substitute than as a starter this year. 1-1 the scoreline with a minute to go to the midway stage of this second half on Talksport 2. Hirakawa back for Randall. Now play forward through the midfield for Reece, who will let the ball run across his body. He got caught by Lousa as he did so, and it's a free kick to Bristol City on halfway. So how do both coaches go about turning 1 point into 3 here?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the top end of the pitch for Watford here. I mean, Barr's come on the pitch, and you look at him and see the way that he's quite dynamic in his approach to the game. You want to try and get the ball up to these boys. The fresh legs have come on. Not all of them have had a touch of the ball yet, actually. Just looking to see if Barr's not had one touch. I think Mamar's only had one, made a poor decision. Just got to get them in possession high up the pitch. I don't think, from a Bristol City perspective...
As Twine plays it in and Reece heads it wide.
I don't think they need to chase the game, Jim. I don't think they need to chase this game whatsoever. I think, where they're sat at this moment in time, they can maybe just utilise the transition play when Watford are coming out. They're trying to get that second goal. And I think there's enough quality that Bristol City possess to catch them on the break. I wouldn't be coming out of the slots just yet.
We've got a quarter of the game remaining. The prize for Bristol City tonight, if they can win this by a couple, is a place in the top 4 at the end of the day, ahead of those big games tomorrow involving Millwall and Preston, and Stoke and Coventry. Bowler on the Watford left. Just a committed Tanner flicked it past him. Gets it down towards the corner flag, and Kwadwo Barr is there. Looked as though he'd overrun it, but flicked it back in the nick of time off Hirakawa. And out of play for a Watford corner, which is their first of the second half.
Bowler's having a good game tonight. He really is. He's showing his quality. Love it when he drops his shoulder. I was hoping there he would just drive into the middle of the pitch, but He's trying to get his mate on the ball who's just come on. Barr we've not seen too much of him in this, this 5 or 6 minutes that he's been on.
Lusa takes the corner, it's an away swinger. Just too high for Hirakawa and a head away. Shot comes in from distance from Mahama. And the goalkeeper, Vitek, again, can only have seen it late, but he did well to scramble across his line and flick it past the post for a corner.
Turns out to be a really good save, actually. There's enough bodies in front of him there. I think he saw it late there, Radek Vitek. I mean, it was a scruffy shot by Mamar, but good save in the end.
So another corner. Lusa goes out to take this one as well. It's an in-swinger, and the goalkeeper forced to punch it straight over his own bar. He got so much height on that, he came close to hitting the big screen at that end of the ground. Goes out for another corner. Lusa's already spotted another ball down. Readiness to take it. Swings this one in. The goalkeeper punches that clear as well, under duress. Probably the worst of the three deliveries from Lusa, and still pretty good. Another high ball hanging inside the penalty area, and another fine save from Vitek, scrambling across his line. Kieran Gore, I think it was, that got the header in. It's cleared. Watford will come again with Ngakia, trying to turn the screw. Lusa with a touch, doesn't quite break his way to then get a shot in. And Mehmeti will slide it clear from the edge of his own penalty area via Twine to get Bristol City going again. But Watford with a really good 2 or 3 minute spell there.
Just kept it alive, the deliveries into the box, really high quality. It's the first time we've seen Kieran Gore actually affect this game. It's a good header going into the bottom corner, and another really good save by Vitek.
Now Barr can bring it forward. Running at the penalty area, left-hand side of the box, and the keeper saves that one with his feet. Ricochets high up in the air, and he's then cleared by Randall. Forward towards halfway, where Armstrong will try and get there, and then Pollock is in quickly on Rees, and there was an angry reaction from Pollock. I don't know whether he felt that Rees maybe left one on him. Armstrong has gone down and is just struggling with a touch of cramp at the moment. Body's flying all over the place.
It is. I mean, there's 4 or 5 actual lunges in the middle of the pitch there. Pollock was the first one and the second one, actually. I mean, they're incredible challenges, aren't they? I've just seen the replay there. He really wants to win them challenges there, Pollock. That's like old school defending.
Well, his legs were going like a windmill.
They were.
As he went in for the second one. But he won it cleanly. And it's a free kick which has gone his way. On halfway. It's 1-1. Got 19 minutes to go. It's the longest period of the game without a goal. 4 from Elaine. A little bit more action on the bench. And the substitutes have just been sent out to warm up. Ended up getting caught by Kwadwo Barr's misplaced pass. It's a throw that will be taken on the Bristol City right. 1 apiece.
The chance that Kwadwo Barr just had there, I mean, it was a lovely break, wasn't it? We saw the best of him, and then we saw the worst of him only a minute later, where he's just kind of knocked it out of play. I mean, the drive he had into the shot for Radek Vitek to save, it was a lovely drive, it really was. You can just get him on the ball a little bit higher up the pitch.
Jeremy Ngakia motors forward, man with more than 100 Watford games behind him now. Pass back by him to Kayembe. Kayembe sending it square for Elaine to step up from the defensive line. Out to Mark Bowler, the scorer of the Watford goal more than an hour ago now. Back from him, Elaine, Kayembe into the feet of Mark Bowler again on the edge of the penalty area. Kieran Gore just tried to nudge it past Rob Dickey and couldn't. And the Bristol City man brings it away. Lays it back for Viner. Viner waving everybody forward before firing it long towards Armstrong, but he couldn't hold it up. Kevin Caban winning it back, and now finding Kayembe. Kayembe to the left-hand side for Kwadwo Barr. Quick injection of tempo, burst inside away from Hirakawa. But Randall should be able to clear easily for Bristol City on the edge of his own penalty area, and he's got time to turn as he played the pass forward. Mahama very nearly able to cut it out. That is one back by Roberts, whose high ball hoisted towards Rees is easily repelled by Elaine. And then Luce has got the ball at his feet and will just make his way forward. Now towards Kwadwo Barr. Little reverse from him. Luce has continued his run. Fires the cross in towards the far post, and Mahama was there to attack it. And Roberts did enough to flick it away and out for a throw.
Oh, what a good ball that was. I thought it was going to be a whip ball across that 6-yard box, but you're absolutely right, Jim. He's fired it. He's kind of knuckle-balled it across the 18-yard box there. And again, if you're going to score that second goal, you need an extra midfielder to join the box. I mean, again, Watford just 1, 2 at most inside that 18-yard box. Got to push players into the attacking areas. Seem to be quite reserved. They like to play the passes, the balls. They have lovely interplay, but that final kind of killer instinct's just been missing at times.
Well, they've got an excellent home record. Well, their away form's so bad that they really need to make situations like this count. A point against their name, looking for 3. They haven't won away from home since the middle of February. They've taken only 4 points out of the last possible 39 on the road. And that means you've got to win your home games when your away form's as bad as that. Mahama driving forward. He's inside the penalty area. Still he travels. The offside flag is up as he just played it forward. Kevin was ahead of him and took it off the toes almost of his teammate, but did so from an offside position. And the free kick goes Bristol City's way, and they're going to make a change. We're going to see young Leo Pekova, who made his debut for the last 20 minutes against Southampton. He's from Bath, 17-year-old striker, and he's going to be coming on in a moment. He actually scored against Watford in the Pro Development League final last season, and will come on here to replace Sinclair Armstrong in a straight swap up front with little over 15 minutes to go.
I'm a little bit surprised by this. Not the fact that Leo Pekova's going on the pitch. You know, it's great to see young players coming on and kind of making their way in the game, but I just thought in terms of the last 15 minutes of this game where Watford are really striving, putting pressure on this Bristol City team, there's loads and loads of space behind the back four, and you know, we've just seen a great chance there. He's just missed it. Sinclair Armstrong. I'm not surprised he's disappointed. He's shown he's disappointed coming off.
Yeah, disappointment etched across his face. He's made his way forward, now obscured from our view as he takes his place in the dugout, and Leo Pekova's on to replace him. So he's up front alongside Emil Rees for the 15 minutes plus stoppage time that remain. Ball's gone out of play. Throw that Zach Viner will take for Bristol City over on the far touchline. The City's 3 away wins so far this season have all come against the bottom 3. Will they be able to beat top half opposition on the road for the first time this campaign? It does feel as though the third goal of the night would be the winner.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like that. It's really tight, this game at the minute. Bristol City just tightened up through the thirds.
Hirakawa venturing to a point about midway inside the Watford half. He's then laid it back for Tanner. Tanner to Dickey and through the midfield. Randall waiting, but the ball has bypassed him. It's gone back instead for Rob Dickey. Tanner opening up the body, turning it forward. Twine trying to take a touch. He's lost out to Kayembe. Then poked forward by Bola. Looser for Kieran Gore. Out towards Kwadwo Bar. This is better from Watford inside the Bristol City penalty area. It was a fierce shot, but it was straight at the goalkeeper. Stuck his hands up in front of his face and beat the ball down. And Randall can bring it away. Now Twine out of the Bristol City left. Pekova. A little reverse ball out to the left-hand touchline. Now he will chop it back onto his right, and has he been fouled? He has. And it's a free kick given away by Amama. And guess who's immediately picked up the ball and is striding with real intent to go across and take it? Scott Twine.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a distance out. Probably edging into the 30-yard area here. I mean, if he's going to hit the target, it's going to be an incredible strike. We know he's got it in his locker. Seen it in the first half. Can he pull something out of the bag for this Bristol City team? Probably looks like it's going to be a set play that gets something out of this game for Bristol City. I think in open play, Watford have got something a little bit more to strive for, but Bristol City are looking for something. Can they get a bit of magic out this man's boots?
3 in the wall, bobbing up and down. He's got a lot of work to do to score from here, Scott Twine. It's not going to stop him trying. Runs up. In fact, he has clipped it in towards Hirakawa instead, and it's headed away by Bola and out of play for a corner. And Bola just got a a bang on the back of the head, so play will stop. They can't take the corner quickly. The referee's happy the bowler is okay. And now Hirakawa can take it. Well, he's certainly been given the signal to take it. Twine showing no interest in coming across to do so. So will be Yu Hirakawa in front of the travelling Bristol City supporters away to our right. 1-1 the scoreline here in Hertfordshire. In towards the near post, easily headed away. Back out for the Japanese international again. Brings it down with his right foot. Slips it down for Mehmeti. Mehmeti firing it in just too high for Viner, who came onto it. Then a complete miss kick from Dickey. Swung a left-footed it to try and fire it towards goal. And kicked fresh air. Bristol City forced back as Watford break quickly with Barr. But they've mopped it up very easily, going back to goalkeeper Vitek. And now they'll work it forward again. Pakova trying to get on the end of the seconds. Reese didn't flick it on. And Watford smuggle it back to their goalkeeper with 11 to go at 1-1 short.
Yeah, I mean, it's just looking at that Viner chance there. I mean, he saw it quite late, didn't he? The first ball into the box, the first set play by Hirakawa was really poor, but he kept it alive, and I'm glad he did, because the second delivery was very, very good. Just seen a little break in play here. Watford goalkeeper Selvic's just down, sat. Look at it, I think he's hamstring actually.
Well, he's down feeling his hamstring. Got 10 minutes to go. I wonder whether he's going to be able to continue. My guess is, I'm just sticking it out there, that he is. And I will qualify that by saying what I will say to whenever this happens. I'd want my goalkeeper to do exactly the same. The laws have got to be tightened up, but at the moment the keepers can go down. They can have a tactical injury so that players can get instructions at key points in the game.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, change the laws to stop it happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about this the other day. You know, if a goalkeeper goes down, I think you should pick one outfield player to be off for a certain amount of time.
That's a great call.
And, you know, it'll stop this, because this is just a tactical kind of way of getting around the rules. I've done it, we've done it, you know, you'll see it up and down the country throughout all levels. Goalkeeper goes down, players come over, manager reassesses, looks at his team and sees where it can go from here.
I was at a game a few weeks ago where the goalkeeper went down at this stage of the game, but it didn't look as though he was going to, and it took the reserve goalkeeper to run round off the bench to shout at him in front of the away fans, "Go down, you're hurt." Am I? No, go down. You've done your hamstring. Oh, okay. And he went down.
Incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. Yeah, you pick a player, pick a player to come off for the next minute. You'll stop this instantly.
Well, Watford are going to make a double change very shortly. I'm happy to report that Selvic's all right. He's going to be able to continue. Tom Ince is coming on, and we're also going to be seeing Vivalo Semedo, the Portuguese under-21 international striker who they've signed from Udinese. Got the winner against Hull. He'll be coming on as well. So a double change for Watford, having made a triple earlier in the half. Ince, one of the players left out, a veteran of more than 430 championship games in his career. And he'll be on in the next break in play. The play resumed with a drop ball. It was punted by Bristol City back to Selvic. And Watford will build from the back. We've got 8 minutes of normal time to go. A little bit of time to be added on top of that here on Talksport 2. 1-1 between Watford and Bristol City. Now the ball brought under control by Elaine. Elaine to Caban. Caban can come forward over halfway. Trying to slip it down the inside right channel for Kwadwo Bar, but ahead of him, and it's then knocked back to goalkeeper Vitek, who will clear. Pakova went down off the ball, but is back on his feet with Randall in possession for Bristol City. Mehmeti shows for it in the heart of the midfield, but it's worked back instead towards the back line, and then hurriedly played by Viner out towards Roberts, and Watford have won it back with Barr. Using the full width of the pitch over on that Watford right. Lucy with a lovely little step over. Kieran Gore read it, but he couldn't get on the end of the pass. And Bristol City get it away.
That's why I think the gamble of bringing Sinclair Armstrong off the pitch has gone against them. There's no outball, there's no physicality now on the top line.
Here's the first of the changes, and Kieran Gore is coming off, and he'll be replaced by Vivala Semedo, and Elaine makes way at the back to be replaced by Ince, which points to a change of system. Instructions just being issued to that regard. So Ince coming on. Another player who's due a goal, his last one, this time last year when he netted a penalty at Sheffield Wednesday. 6 minutes for either side to win it. Here on Talksport 2 at the start of your EFL weekend, with the two big games in the Championship, both live on Talksport 2 tomorrow. Millwall Preston, followed by Stoke Coventry. Mama has kept it in on the left. He's got the beating of Hirakawa. He's pulled it back for Kayembe. Bit more space for Lusa, with Mehmeti trying to close him down now, and he's forced Lusa to go back. But Kayembe can play a first-time ball forward. Watford quickly making ground. Here is Tom Ince, right-hand side of the penalty area. Ball flighted in deep. Marmar's going to keep it in, but down by the opposite corner flag. And he's won a throw.
Yeah, they've changed the shape. They've brought off one of the central defenders. Watford have gone into a flat back four now with Tom Ince joining that extra body in midfield, and they're going for it. You know, they look upon this opportunity now in the last 5-6 minutes, feeling that I can get this winner. Can it be a Tom Ince? You know, he's like you say, he's played enough Championship games. What a ball.
Just evaded the Watford striker, who's waiting there to attack it. Semedo not given the opportunity, but Ngakia wins it back. And then a Watford player goes down on the edge of the box as he turned, and the referee waves the appeals away. Bristol City clear. Back into Watford territory. Pollock will find Caban. They're the two centre-halves that are on now that Elaine has come off. Out it goes towards Jeremy Ngakia, the former West Ham trainee at right back. Caban to Pollock. Taking a touch and then firing it to his left. Bristol City are getting Ollie Thomas ready for just the third senior appearance of his career. The young striker will be on in a moment. Out towards the right-hand side of the box for Barr. Watford attacking again. And it's cleared again. 4 to go. 1-1. Emil Rees. One back by Ince and lost by Ince just as quickly. Viner's clearance not the best. Falling for Kayembe. Kayembe to Mama. Hirakawa didn't know whether to play it or not. He might wish that he had. He let it run. And it will come down at Mama's way, down by the corner flag. And the Moroccan's persistence can't be rewarded with a ball to a teammate. He just saw it run away from him. And it goes out of play for a throw that Hirakawa will take for Bristol City, but only after they've made the change. And it's Roberts who's coming off to be replaced by Ollie Thomas. Had a couple of loan spells last year. It was out at Newport and then at Yeovil as well in the National League. Came on for his Robins debut at Birmingham, or against Birmingham a fortnight ago. And he's going to come on here to replace Hayden Roberts for the last 3-4 minutes or so. Well, somebody's misfortune is always an opportunity for somebody else, and they've brought on a 20-year-old sub, a 17-year-old sub, a 19-year-old sub, Bristol City.
Yeah, it's good. You know, of course, you know, they're missing a lot of players, and we've spoke about that before the game. But this is where you get your opportunity. You know, these are what the young players are asking for all the time, Jim. You know, they don't moan and groan about it, but they just want that opportunity. Sometimes it comes at the most bizarre times, and it takes a goal, a good performance, you know, a little bit of luck, and suddenly you're a footballer and you find yourself.
And Bristol City's last away game saw a 5-1 defeat at Stoke. It's been a vast improvement today, particularly when you consider they were a goal down inside 5.5 minutes tonight. Well, they've responded well. Hirakawa controlling a poor pass to him from Tanner. He did well to react and stop that going out of play for a throw. The Robins then turn it forward, trying to get the better of Pollock, but they can't. Ball laid back for Hirakawa. Hirakawa now running towards the edge of the penalty area. He's got it on his right foot. Lays it out towards Thomas, who's started wide on the right for Bristol City after coming on. Thomas, the 20-year-old, trying to take on Marma's beaten him, but he couldn't beat Kayamba. He's then fouled him, and Hirakawa with a show of dissent tells the assistant referee Akio Housen what he thought of the decision, but hasn't talked his way into the book. 90 seconds to go, 1-1, and a point apiece looking highly likely now. Can either side get the job done? Selvik with a long clearance for Watford. Flicked on. Ince goes for goal. And Vitek, although he spilt it, had plenty of time to recover.
Brilliant gambling there by Tom Ince. I mean, he just read the flick, didn't he? I thought he saw the goalkeeper off the line and he was going to chip him, but he's gone for the straight strike and he caught it really well.
And he's done well here off the ball. Dispossessing Viner. Finding Marma. Marma, left-hand side of the penalty area, wins a corner. And it's all for the persistence of Ince. Viner just didn't get a shout from any of his teammates, and Ince came from his blind side, picked his pocket, and Watford get a corner as a result of that.
Yeah, he done well, Tom Ince there. He's been on the pitch for 5 or 10 minutes. He's had a couple of half chances. That was a really good strike there by Tom. He's got a lovely left foot, hasn't he? Just wants it to hanging around on the edge of the box in the D now. Can it fall to him?
In the 90th minute, poor corner, headed away easily, but still picked up by Bola. Back out for Lusa. Lusa's delivery, again, not the best. It's two worst deliveries of the game in quick succession. But Ngaki has got possession for Watford in the central area. He's 20 yards outside the box. Fires it in left-footed. It hits the nearest City player in front of him, Pakova. And then Thomas will be able to bring it forward through the midfield. But he's lost now to Ince. Ince sending it down to the left-hand side as we go into 5 minutes of added time. Barr. Back towards halfway. Bola with time to run round it. Plays it back inside his own half for Ngakia. Forward again from him to Bola. Edge forward by Bola for Barr. Pollock inside the centre circle as he slips it out towards the right-hand side. Lusa desperately trying to find space and has done well to do so. Marma lays it back to his captain, who lost possession. Pollock had to water into another 50-50, and he gets there ahead of Randall. So Watford can come forward again with Ince, who's been really busy since he's come on, as Sean's been saying. Lusa into the feet of the edge of the penalty area, but Viner brings it away. Now an opportunity for Ollie Thomas on the counter-attack. Slipping it down the left-hand side for Reese. Pakova doing what he can to bust the gut and get into the middle, but Reese never got the cross in. It was very well defended by Keben, and they've won it back. And now Watford can build again. 4 minutes of added time to go.
They're really deep now, Bristol City. They're just hanging on for this point into the 92nd minute. Just got no pace on the top line now.
Watford send a long diagonal out towards Marma. Level the edge of the penalty area. Clever little drop of the shoulder. Fires a cross in, which is deflected, and the deflected clearance hits the corner flag and stops the ball dead in the quadrant. And Marma was the first to react to that. So it's a Watford ball. Keben. Cross wasn't high enough. Viner heads it away. Watford looking for a winner right at the end here. Hornets fans in front of us on the edge of their seat, leaning forward and trying to get the best possible view of potentially the game's defining moment. 3 to go. 1-1 still. Here's Mark Bola. Better deep across from him. Just too deep for Lusa, though, who still has an opportunity to be the first Watford player since Troy Deeney to score in 5 successive games for the club. But if he does so, it's going to be very late and very dramatic. We've only got 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, at vital times in this latter stages of the game, just seen for the first time in his game, Losers just lost a little bit of quality with the delivery into the box. I mean, we've not seen that at all in the first 88 minutes. He's been fantastic. Just need that little bit of quality, a little bit of calmness at the right areas. Just seem to be rushing things at the minute, Watford do.
Pollock. Bola. And now Barr on the Watford left, inside Bristol City territory, but they're forced to go back inside their own half again. Ince will drop deep. And he can link up the play by finding Ngakia. Out towards Marma, who's taken on his man McMetty, who's fouled him, left the foot in there. And it's going to be a free kick to Watford, and this might well be their last really good chance.
Yeah, big chance, massive chance. Put the ball in the box. Imran Louza, I mean, he's showcased his absolute sublime quality at certain moments tonight, and more so with that first goal. But can he be the man now to get this winner for Watford? Not sure they deserve it, got to say. You know, this second half's been really, really close for both teams. But this is the Championship.
Watford have got 6 inside the box. Got 2 more on the edge of the D. Can Louza get the delivery right in the 94th minute of the game? Swung in towards the penalty spot and easily headed away. Ince tries to turn it back in with another subsequent header and has lost it. And Hirakawa will lead the counter-attack. Ince tried to foul him but couldn't. 3 against 2. Hirakawa down towards Reese, but behind him Pakova stumbles off the ball and Watford have quickly got their shape back. Haven't got the ball back though. It's Thomas towards the penalty spot and Ince slides in. And the goalkeeper Selvik has kicked it away before it goes out of play for a corner.
What a chance. What a breakaway chance that was. I mean, it really was a fantastic opportunity for Bristol City. Hirakawa there. I mean, Tom Ince tried to kick him. He's going to get booked, I think. His intention there. I mean, referees let him off. But it was just that final ball, that final slide ball. Let them down. It's let both teams down in the second half.
Given away again. Mahama this time. Hirakawa trying to trick his way through. Thomas will be able to pick up the loose ball. We've almost played the 5 minutes. Only 10 seconds or so left. McMetty coming towards the edge of the penalty area. Twists one way. Then another. Gets a shot in with his right foot, which is actually hit one of his teammates. And Watford are able to smack it away upfield to Sanctuary. And that'll be that. The points are shared. Mark Boller with an early opener for the Hornets. Scott Twine, sublime free kick. Got Bristol City back into the game. And from that point on, it was a pretty even contest. I think Watford will be the more frustrated. 4 home wins in a row coming into this and playing against the Robin side who were depleted by injuries. But the visitors show great resilience and deserved their point. It's finished Watford 1, Bristol City 1.
Bristol City stay 7th. They're 4 points off automatic promotion. Watford up 1 spot to 11th. 3 points off today's opponents and also 3 points off the top 6. Bristol City will host Swansea after the international break. Watford will visit Derby. Sean Derry, is that a fair result on what you saw this evening?
Yeah, I think so. Really impressed with Watford's opener. Opening 30 minutes especially, ran by the captain Louza, and then the flow kind of lost its way from Watford's perspective, and Bristol City found their way into the game and got a little bit of, not luck. They got an unbelievable equaliser. We've seen that. We spoke about it at half time. Hugh, fantastic. 2 high quality goals in a game which I thought lost its quality in the second half, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, the second half clearly didn't hit the heights of the first. Why do you feel that was?
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether there was enough quality on the pitch, and that's respect. I'm saying that full respect for Bristol City. We know they've got a number of main players that weren't available for them tonight. And I felt the subs that came on didn't improve both teams. I was really surprised that Sinclair Armstrong went off the pitch. I mean, I know he had that one-on-one and he obviously hit the goalkeeper, a good save by the goalkeeper, but I thought it was a great outlet in a team that was prepared to sit deep. And I thought that they really missed him in the last 20 minutes, Bristol City.
How do you feel both managers will reflect on the evening's result? Is it a missed opportunity for Watford and a good point for Bristol City, or will they maybe feel the other way around?
No, I think there'll be a level of frustration for Javier Gracia. I think, he would have been coming into this game tonight knowing that Bristol City were lacking players, especially with the home form that he's shown. I thought he would have, really energised his team for the second half. I was surprised with that second half performance by Watford, but take nothing away from Bristol City. Going away in the Championship and getting a point, you know, you don't turn your nose up at that, and that was a big point for Bristol City and Struber.
Ends all square at Vicarage Road. All that's left, Sean Derry, is for us to pick our man of the match from today's game. Who impressed you most?
Well, I'm going to go for one of the 2 goal scorers, and you know, there was 2 fantastic goals scored tonight. Imran Luzer's ball for the first goal for Bolla was brilliant. I thought Bolla had a fantastic game. He probably just shaded Luzer. Luzer lost his mojo in the second half. I thought Bolla was outstanding for Watford, but I'm going to go for Scott Twine. You know, him on the back of missing 9 or 10 of his first team teammates tonight. I thought he carried his team superbly well, and if anybody deserves the man of the match, it was Scott Twine for me.